Hey folks, John Swain here from We Love Small Business. And I want you to know that my company, Swain CPA's purpose is to inspire small business. And why does knowing what your small business's purpose matter? Now, before you click on to the next video dismissing this as fluffy, hoity-toity stuff that only big corporations focus on, let me tell you that this video will be the most important video you will ever watch if enjoying your life and the lives of the people who rely on you for leadership matters to you. Do I have your attention? Not quite yet? Okay. How about this one? Knowing your business's purpose will make you highly profitable, which leads to wealth and leads to all of your wildest dreams coming true. Well, your business dreams, anyway. And I'm not joking. And look, I also want you to know that protecting your mental health is something that we need to do at any cost. Business is stressful. No matter how good we are at dealing with stress, it's stressful. Folks that set good foundations are able to better respond, react, and adapt to stressful situations. And this is important because a career of high stress, not handled properly with the right tools, will put you in an early grave. And then what the hell is it all for anyway? I'm going to be so bold to say that if you don't know the true root purpose of your business, then either figure it out soon or do yourself a favor. Close your doors and go get a job. It'll be a much less stressful life for you. Okay, if you're still watching, I have your attention. Good. You care about leading a purpose-based life and you like to make money. And there's nothing fluffy about that. Okay, keep watching. But first, if after you've watched this, you found this helpful, please like and comment. This will help me get this stuff out to more business owners. Also, make sure you're subscribed and notified. And if you're not a Swain CPA client, book a call. I'd like to do something about that. So first off, why does clearly knowing our company's purposes matter? You see, if we clearly know what our company's purpose is, we can make good decisions quicker. And by we, I mean you and your team and your staff. I repeat, you and your team can make good decisions quickly or quicker. Good decisions are the most valuable thing that can happen in a business. And before I give you some examples, think about the bad decisions that we've made, and we've all made them. What a cluster screw these decisions have caused. You know, what heartache these decisions caused and costed us. And not just time, but money, and maybe people, and infinitely more important, your mental health. Now, good decisions involve knowing who we want to work with and who for. What kinds of projects we want to involve ourselves with, what level of profitability we can command, how much money we want to spend on initiatives. Things just start to feel right intuitively. And look, this stuff isn't magic. So don't think I'm getting fluffy here, but folks that are confident in their purposes send out a frequency to the universe that others pick up on. Again, it's not magic. We just tend to attract or be attracted to energy that is in line with what we are about. And that goes both ways. If you aren't about anything, you tend to attract, well, shitty opportunity, negativity, unhappiness, boredom, eventually chronic sickness, and maybe premature death. Now, knowing purpose is just the first, yet definitely the most important step to building a foundation. But if you've been at this business thing for a while, a clearly articulated purpose will help with overhauling things. It's just the first step as we build a cohesive hedgehog concept, which I'm going to cover in a future video. All of this leads to a continuous cadence of strategy process. And we're going to have some fun. So if I ask you what the purpose or the why of your business is, what would you say? Lots of people who I ask this to will say things like, we provide roofing services. That's what you do, but not why you do it. Some people say their purpose is to help people. So I'm sorry if I'm a bit harsh here, but come on, that's kind of a given, right? You can do better. Some folks will also say something like, we offer superior widget repair customer service by using our patented Lightning process. And that's how you deliver your product or service, but I want you to think about why. It's a deep question and it really perplexes people. It really perplexed me for sure when I went through this process myself. So why is this question so perplexing? On the surface, it kind of seems like a simple question, right? Because in a way, we kind of sort of intuitively know. So why can't we just blurt it out? Let me explain why. You see, our purposes are emotional. We're emotional beings. Just accept that. There's nothing wrong with that. It's all right to be human, even in business, especially in business. So where does emotion come from in the brain? Well, it actually resides in the limbic system of the brain, which is sometimes called the core brain or our caveman or woman brain. It's our instinct. Now, here's the funny thing about emotion. It's hard to explain. It's hard to articulate. Let me give you an example. I want you to think about how you would tell me about how a grape would taste. It elicits a response, but how would you describe it? You might say something like, tastes like deep purpley sweetness. Or you might even think about, great Mr. Freezies from your childhood. That's about the closest you might come. Or describe the love that you have for your dog or one of your kids. We know we love them, we do anything for them, but really, why? Your answer is likely something like, I don't know, I just do. Or you might say, I love them because they're so cute and cuddly and so on, but these are just the features. The emotion of love is something deeper that is pretty darn hard to articulate. And Lord knows many a songwriter has tried. So you see, articulating your business's purpose isn't easy work. But as you're about to learn, it's probably, no, you know what? It's the most important thing you can do for your small business if you want a profitable and rewarding career, an awesome culture, and something bigger than you that might just outlive you. In a weird way, it's kind of like immortality. Deep, eh? So I'm going to run through a couple of exercises that may help you start to hone in on your purpose. Okay, now remember, the goal here is to construct an articulated, very simple purpose statement that a 4-year-old can grasp. I also want you to remember that this process can take a while to firm up on the purpose statement that you're going to live with. So don't overthink the first draft. It's going to change multiple times, but find something you can start to use and you'll see how it starts to evolve over time. Okay, so the first exercise, I want you to think back to the day that you remember feeling really good about what happened at work. Think about a client or customer or a patient that you really made a difference with. You were in a flow state. It just all came natural to you and you felt alive. You felt that everything made sense that day. What was it? What was the situation? For example, were you able to help fix a furnace for an elderly person who's going to go to bed cold every night? Or were you able to help a child hear for the first time? Were you able to direct a movie based in a galaxy far away long ago? Were you able to coach a skinny twit into looking like Bane from Batman? I mean, you're getting the idea. Notice in these examples, there was sort of a specific demographic and a specific thing that just seemed to flow with us. Now, another exercise to think about is why things flowed so well that time. Now, really think about why. Where did it come from? Was it a good experience or maybe even a bit of a traumatic experience from your past? Maybe you were such a lover of music and you had a hearing impaired little sister that could never truly hear the music that you loved, so you found a way to help children like her by becoming an audiologist. Or maybe you grew up in a less fortunate household and heat in the wintertime was a luxury. Therefore, you later in life were drawn to a technical trade devoted to accessible heating sources. Think about what trajectory you may put in place for a person that might change their lives forever in a good way. Now, try writing something down that might capture it. So an example of how my accounting firm came up with our purpose statement, which is to inspire small business. It came from my adolescence. When I was 14, my mother, who owned a convenience store along with my father, and she started getting me to help her with the books. And I really enjoyed balancing the ledgers, and I thought that this accounting thing is pretty cool. Yes, I was a nerdy kid, and I still am. Anyway, at year end, when it was time to go and meet with the accountant, my mother thought it would be good for me to come with her. Now, I want you to know that my mother was one smart, awesome, energetic entrepreneur, and really ahead of her time. But at the meeting with the accountant, she was shy and quiet and, sort of intimidated. And it was understandable. The accountant was very stuffy and he was wearing a bad fitting suit and sort of just treated her like she was in the principal's office. And he didn't seem to want to help her run a better business, a more profitable and fun business. It was just boring, frankly. He missed the whole damn point. He had the coolest business lady of his career right across from his desk, who he could have inspired and brought out all the awesome potential, but instead he squandered it. Now, it was then and there that I made up my mind to someday be in his position, only I wouldn't squander the opportunity to inspire. Someday I would not take that person across from me for granted, and I would do everything in my power to inspire them to great levels, not just their taxes, but in their ability to have fun making good money. And I would also make sure they felt comfortable and at ease in my presence. And every decision I've made since in the development of my business always considered this purpose. If it didn't pass these tests, it didn't happen. Everything we do, everyone we hire, and every contact we choose to do business with must somehow fit into the purpose or it doesn't happen. And it makes life easier. It makes running this business fun and rewarding because the decisions that we make are in line with our purpose. A purpose-based business and the willingness and discipline to honor that purpose is the key to a balanced, enriched life. Now, if you don't have that, you don't have anything. Because here's the thing, if we don't enjoy our lives, then we probably aren't taking care of ourselves as best we could. We may be stressed. We may not be getting good sleep. We may be drinking too much to escape our situation. And after a long enough period of time, and after it's too late, we get sick. And it's just the way our bodies respond when its soul isn't getting fed. It eventually manifests itself in a physical way. Now, you might have a pile of money, but if your pursuits weren't in line with your purpose, or you never really took the time to think about what your purpose was, it will eventually catch up to you. And honestly, what good is retirement if you're too sick or too dead to enjoy it? So this stuff is serious. You owe it to yourself and the people that depend on you to think on these things and make the right changes to make sure you're on the right path. A great book to get you started with this is Simon Sinek's Start With Why. Or check out our inspiration program. I work a lot in this area and I'd just love to inspire you. All the best, my friends, and get out there and live your best life. Until next time.